So for my final reflection, I'm going to go through each of the standards that were on the rubric and go over what we've gone over and what we haven't. I will preface this that I also took the class SPED 852 last semester, so quite a few things were covered in that one. So I did write that in, and a lot of it was expanded. So the first one was justification for gifted services, and we covered this a lot in that first class, first semester, and during the fall. We read A Nation Deceived, and honestly, not to be dramatic, but it truly changed my life. Really opened up my eyes to a lot of things, and I've used that and sent that to a lot of other educators. But we did build on this throughout the semester, building on what we've that belief system. The review of current program practice and implementation. Once again, we built upon this. Every model that we went over, I automatically compared it to what I'm doing or not doing this semester. So even though that wasn't the main purpose, but by going through all the different curriculum models, it was a point to reflect on that. Needs assessment and stakeholders attitude is not something I feel that we've really gone over yet. We've looked at some things, but I haven't talked to principals or superintendents, just any of that. So hopefully, I think that's coming in another class. Mission statement and program philosophy. We started on this. We wrote our missions, goals. We spent a lot of time on the social emotional statement on where we think that falls within our program. And I think we are going to continue changing that in the next semester and some of the future classes that we have. But this is a big one. So this is also posted on the homepage of my portfolio. Goals, objectives, same thing. We compared every single curriculum model to our NAGC standards and dissected about how they could improve. I did attach that here to the presentation for anyone who would want to see this. And I will put this presentation as well on our portfolio. But all of my goals and objectives are listed on there. Definition of gifted, once again, this was started in our SPED 852 class, but was definitely expanded. I took my knowledge and developed the definition and used it to decide on the best models that I thought my personal kids and program needed. Forms and tools. So this is something we went over again in SPED 852. It was valued to see how my co-op refers, identifies, and places students. And this semester only built upon that knowledge. And once we know how they get identified, then we can only then see how what services they need and what curriculum they need. Timing services, decision placements, kind of the same thing. We went over it. I was able to decide which program was best for my students as far as specific minutes and timing and what studies say is best on how many minutes and all of that. I have not been able to get into yet, so I think that's something that'll come up. IEP development, we mentioned something. We looked at an IEP last semester during 852, but we did not cover that this semester. Curriculum model justification, implementation. So have we covered it? Yes. Every week we looked at one or more models and we looked at all the pros and cons. Sometimes we made units, lesson plans, and decided how we could actually use that. Professional development. This was huge because we were asked to make that presentation of what it is to be gifted and how we can service them. And I've actually used this presentation. We did a PD day in February, and I spoke to all of the teachers at our district level of how we can better serve our students. Lessons, modifications, core content areas. Once again, we did some of this. The examples of the lessons that were modified in the units are all on my portfolio. And we did some adapting with IEPs, but I think we're going to spend more time with IEPs in future lessons. Leadership, creativity, social, emotional. We did a lot of this, and I really enjoyed learning this part. Making the creativity unit, the social emotional learning unit, but also talking about how we can just put that in our already done lessons was very beneficial. Leadership, creativity, social emotional / career. This is a big one I use because I am at the high school level. So once again, the examples of all those modified units and lessons are on my portfolio, and I am currently still working on the website, which was a specific part on this one. So that's kind of what we're doing. Evaluation model. So yes, I evaluated every model. I decided that ALM was my favorite and for my program, and that video was posted. Questionnaires and tools. We started this, but looked more at each program, less at the assessment piece. I think that's to come. Program evaluation. I began thinking about this, nothing official yet as to which services in the future are recommended and how that's going to move forward and make an official recommendation, but we have started.